I think we're live. So, if you want to have 100% successful performances, that is every time you stand on the stage, every time you stand to express your artistry in any setting, um, be that a live performance or a recorded performance, you will succeed 100% of the time if you will learn how to fully maximize your moments. All right. So, one thing you'll find is extremely important throughout your career is the way that you manage moments. If I gave you, and I've asked this question before in a variation, if I gave you 10 minutes with a crowd of 10,000, how would you show up to ensure that the attention that you're given in moments will be turned into a search for your name after that moment is over? So, here's my thing. You thought about an answer, possibly. And if you got your answer, then why aren't you giving that every time you stand on the stage? Why aren't you giving that every time you stand and present what you have musically? If you can imagine these moments and things, why aren't the stages of 20, of 200 also seeing that intentionality from you? Right? Sometimes what we perceive as defining moments may be revealing our heart pressure towards our mission. If you can't give 10,000% when you're in front of small crowds of listeners, then you'll never truthfully be able to capture the attention of tens or hundreds of thousands of people. Point blank, period. See, the lifespan of a person's attention can go like a myriad of different ways. But let's deal with one of these, right? So in a live setting, the initial giving of attention is what happens when people are introduced to artists, new artists, or I'll deal with the new artists and then maybe the artists they've seen before. But so in a crowd of people, if you're the new artist, one of your actual advantages is being the new kid on the scene, right? A lot of time people look at this as a disadvantage, but it's an advantage, guys. It's an advantage. It's an advantage because people don't know you, so they can't really make a judgment call about whether you're good or bad until you actually show up and give them what it is that you got to give them, right? So herein is where the advantage lies. They're still deciding. You've got an opportunity to turn their head. You've got an opportunity to turn their initial attention into an intentional investment into your musical artistry. All right. So this is where there's a lot of stuff that comes into play here, though. So in order to fully maximize these moments that you're given, again, while I'm dealing with a live stage setting, this can happen even when you're in the presence of like an artist and you're presenting a new song. You're like you're a songwriter maybe, and you're presenting a song. That's still one of those things. You're a producer, a beat maker, musical arranger, composer, whatever, and you're presenting certain stuff. And you're presenting it before the people that can kind of push the thing. You still got to show up to that spot with an intentionality. All right. So here it is. The back end understanding of this that will help this be a thing is that you have to have a clear cut mission going into the performance. Right. If you have a clear cut mission, you're not wasting time, you're not wasting energy, and your focus is on the mission at hand. What missional clarity does is it leads to attention retention, right? It leads to attention retention. When you are clear about your mission, you are sure of why you are standing on that stage. You are sure of what you're conveying and what you're attempting to convey when you stand. No, what you're conveying. I won't even say attempting. What you're conveying when you stand on that stage. You are sure of you should be sure of the actual musical content that you're presenting. And so everything about you screams confidence. Everything about you screams I got this. Everything about you commands, here's what we say, commands the stage, right? We know that phrase. And so when you hit the stage, you have to be sure because you have the newbie's advantage. That confidence makes you who are new to them they'll sit back and be like, "Oh, he must have been doing this. She must have been doing this for a while. This is something. Okay, they really know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. Like this is fire." And that will lead again people, whether you are a super like extra expressive running around person, or whether you are a person that kind of has a chill performance type. What commands the stage is your confidence. What commands the stage is how sure you are and how impactful your message is. And sometimes that the message can be impactful, but the delivery can be confusing. And so what that missional clarity does is it also gives you, because sometimes you can be clear about what you're wanting to convey, but you're still not clear about how you're supposed to convey it, or you're not really conveying it the way like that can impede on your impact, because you're fumbling, right? You start fumbling. What's up? um, and so you start fumbling because you don't really know how you want to say what you want to say, and you haven't really um internalized your message. You know what I mean? So one of the things that you have to do is you got to familiarize yourself with your message, but you also like you almost have to become the embodiment of the thing that you're trying to say, right? If you have a something that you're saying through your musical artistry, you've got to literally embody that in those moments. Again, it is the difference between someone just seeing your performance and be like, okay," and then someone seeing it and be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" They know what they're talking about. Now, this does not automatically. I got to be honest. This does not automatically mean that someone is going to latch on to your music or your expression at all. That it just means you need to have a clear understanding of your message, and you need musical content that captures the essence of what you're designed to convey. Right now, here's what I don't want you to do. Right, I don't want you to go into a performance saying, "Oh, this is gonna be the thing, and I'm gonna capture their attention, and I'm gonna be able to get them as followers and fans." Da, 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 da. I don't want you to go into it like that, because that's not a real solid mission. That's a desire for a particular thing, but that as a mission should not be your mission, because that's not going to lead to the outcome you think it's going to lead to. That's actually poor service to the listener. And the thing that's going to grant you, or it's going to cause you to obtain and retain listeners consistently, is how well you serve them, right? How well you serve them musically. Hey, how you doing? How well you serve them musically is what's going to cause you to retain them. That's going to be the main kicker. How much are you showing up and being something that they need? Your musical expression is addressing issues that are near to their heart. Your musical expression is actually hitting on things that they're dealing with. Your musical expression is actually helping them to bring them out of their dark pits. Your musical expression, your performance is one that even for there's some that your expression, it may not necessarily be the content of your like it may not be something where it's addressing a particular issue in their life, but you have another young performer or growing performer that is looking at your expression and looking at the way that you handle a stage, and they're resonating with that. It's resonating with them, and they're impacted by how well you handle those moments. You got a myriad of different avenues through which this comes, but at the end of the day, I'm telling you, you will not miss anything. You will have 100% success in your performances every single time you stand before people. It's possible. Now, I want to help you though. Here's why we think, I guess that's not a thing. You can't hit it every time. Yeah, you can. The 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 success model here is not about it's not necessarily about how many people latch on. It's about your impact on the people that do. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Thanks for joining. So here's something to help. So within every crowd, there are a few types of people. All right. So when you have listeners, you have a crowd of listeners, you have a few types of people. You have those who will literally never care for your sound. All right. So I want you to be okay with that. Let's take a deep breath and release depression over rejection. Right. Yeah. Take a deep breath. You're gonna be rejected. All right. It's gonna happen. People are going to reject everything about your sound. There are going to be certain people that reject your sound. You got to be okay with that. There are people that will just not like it or just not care for it. It's not their cup of tea. It's not their preference. They ain't there. It just ain't it. And that's okay. You are not for everybody. All right. I'm not for everybody. Right. But we do have somebody that will take hold of what we carry. All right. There's those people. Then there are those that will be interested in your expression or artistry, but they'll find something that interests them more or just push it to the side in the category with other artists that they may listen to or watch, if you come up before them. So like if your video cycles through on YouTube or you come up in Apple Music or Spotify or something, they're gonna sit and listen to it, but they're not like super interested. They're not super invested rather in what you got. But they like it enough where they're not gonna turn it off when they hear it, right? They won't necessarily skip you every time, right? All right, so that's the second category of people. Then you'll have those that are initially impacted by your performance. They may even search up your songs or the performances after the fact to see what you have to offer. But the initial impact is literally just that. It fades, right? And what you do in those moments, that's still not a failure. What you've done is you accomplished that goal of momentary inspiration, encouragement, etc. But there isn't any lasting commitment to your artistry, your career. They're not really investing into your career, but they were impacted, and that's a success. So already we have left the margin of failure with just that, right? So you may not make a lifelong fan or follower or investment, you know, investor, I guess, someone who's invested in your lifelong listener, but you have in a moment made sure that your music was impactful to a person, all right, on a different level, all right. So that came with you being sure about your mission and you not caring about who it's not for, in a sense. I'm not saying don't care about people, but you know what I'm saying. I showed up for who I'm for, and I'm on the stage to impact who I'm here to impact, and maybe somebody else will impact the others, right? Amen. So then, but here's the one we long for. I think a lot of us. If you're getting into this, this is the one you long for. You have those that will see your performance, hear what you have to say through the song, those that are captivated by what you present and they're impacted so deeply that they go on a search, man, and realize that your music gives them life, man. It helps them to navigate challenges, you know, and they become fans, followers. I call them lifelong listeners of your sound, your expression, and they consistently keep up with career moves and concerts, and concert dates, and tours, and XYZ, and interviews, and all that stuff. Not necessarily because you're that great, just I mean, and you might be a good person, but I'm saying it may not necessarily be that. It's don't just think it's just because I was so great. No, no. What happened was you found your impact zone, right? Now, that's a verbiage that I use with my mentees. but you found your impact zone. What is your impact zone? Your impact zone is the specific people that you are designed to speak to, right? The specific people and problems, issues, and all that stuff that you're specifically designed to be an answer to, that you're specifically designed musically to provide even relief from in certain areas. It's your space where you impact people um, the most frequently. It is what you're divinely, I believe, designed to address, to help people come up for air with in the earth. It is your impact zone. And in this case, the type of person that your mission is designed to positively and consistently impact, they found you, you found them, and now they're lifelong listeners because this is the type of person that you were designed for. You were designed to impact them, right? So again, while the impact and initial impact is seen throughout both of those two scenarios, only one leads to lasting investment. However, it does not make the initially impacted um, any less important. And I think that's why I said um, I don't really want you to go into these things trying to capture and retain attention, right? I want you to go into these things seeking to make the type of impact that you're supposed to make. You know what I'm saying? If impact is the goal, you'll never fail. If impact is the goal, you'll never fail as long as you're clear in your mission and you convey it, right? All right. I have another piece to this, but I won't give you that today because I have a way to. There's a particular way. We'll get into that tomorrow because I really want to talk to you guys about building a lasting experience, something that makes it easy for lifelong listeners to be obtained, for that type of rapport to be built. And so, if you are um, desiring to hear of that, stay tuned, and tomorrow we'll be on talking about that. All right. So I thank y'all for joining. I am writing a book on this concept. I keep telling you that, but I really am. It'll be out sometime in the next couple of weeks, I believe. I will have this book done, and so just rock with me until I get it done, and I have that link for you guys to go and purchase it. Um, I might do a little pre-order for the book if you guys want to pre-order it, but nah, I might just wait till I get it out, and we'll do the whole purchase thing because I mean, like I said, it'll be done in less than a few days probably. And I really believe this is a concept that will help a lot of people. This is a concept that a lot of people don't understand. Drives some of the best performers in the world. Like this, literally, if you break this apart and then go watch how they move, and even listen to certain interviews and listen, like we're all in Michael Jackson land, and I love Mike, I really do, but if you pay attention, Michael was so intentional with everything he did, right? Michael literally, you could literally just simply watch the "This Is It" thing. You don't even got to watch all his other interviews or anything, or just listen to him talk about it. You can literally watch "This Is It" and see his intentionality in the rehearsals, right? How he taught, how he positioned. This is what I want. I want this. Yeah, da, 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 da. Even working with another person, it's like, hey, but I want this. I'm gonna let this, let this simmer. Hold on, I'll feel this. Just wait. You know, there's an intent because there's something he wanted to make sure was conveyed. He knew his goal. He knew his mission. Right. That's what made him one of the top, really the top performer in the world and still to this day, even being passed for, me and my wife were laughing because it's like, dang, we're old now, right? For about 17 years. Michael Jackson has been gone for about 17 years, which is odd to me because, huh? That's strange. But it is what it is, I guess. I hate that. But he, again, one of the top tier, the top tier. He really is the standard in a lot of cases. You're gonna see this, oops, you're gonna see this in manifestation, whether it is broken down in concept or not. You're gonna see it in manifestation in the top performers in the world, the top performers even in your local area, the top performers no matter where you go. You're going to see an intentionality. You're going to see missional clarity. You're going to see motives that have been assessed. You're going to see, even if the motives are bad, they're still motives that have been assessed and decided to be the motivating factor behind what we do. And you'll see a message that is being conveyed. You'll see musical content that is worth listening to. You'll see, and what makes it worth listening to is it doesn't confuse the message. And yeah, you know what I mean. So you're gonna see it in all those worlds. You'll see it in the church world. You'll see it with worship leading and that type of stuff. Gospel music. You'll see those set. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm a worship leader, and the this I think drives. Now, but what about the anointing? Yes, I am anointed by God to do what? Here's what Jesus said. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, Z. That's missional clarity. You get what I'm saying? It's everywhere. That's missional clarity. So this is what I'm assigned to do in this moment. He anointed me for this assignment, the mission. As a worship leader, I understand this. There are certain moments and things like and some stuff, you get told you're singing a certain song, and so you kind of move within the wings of that song. And then sometimes, you just get, you're up, leading worship, and you got to pray. You got to ask God, hey, what people need. You got to really feel through stuff in the spirit for that type of stuff. And then understanding where you at and who you with, all that stuff. God will show you. That's one thing, and that doesn't stop here. And I think I haven't said this in a few days, but literally, Christians, my peoples, as musical artists, our mechanisms are the same. I run and this is actually free. Um, I think it's still I might leave it free. But I run something. No, it's free. It's free. The Inspired Ones is free. So underneath my mentorship is a free community for Christian musical artists. But I have a Christian worldview and I lead from that. So it's a little community to study the scriptures as it pertains to certain aspects of musical artistry. Um, and I really, 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 especially from a very spiritual standpoint, and I believe in the music artist as worship leader. I don't believe any music artist is not responsible for leading worship in some regard. I didn't say you're responsible for standing before a congregation on Sunday mornings or whenever the service times be these days, but you are responsible for helping guide a people into a way of life in relation to whatever God you are submitted to. Because through your worldview, is your mission, your message, all that stuff, your motives, even some of your musical content, it is shaped through your worldview. It is processed through that. Woo-wee. My bad, guys. So all of this is important, right? But I ain't getting on to talk about that. But I just wanted to verify that like it really is it's the same thing. These principles are the same across the board. If you pay attention to sorry, I don't know what is going on. Sleep is overtaking me, I guess. But if you pay attention to some of the if you watch worship leading and stuff like person worship leading, pay attention to some of the worship teams, worship leaders, all the those people that we really actually like and we would hold in high regard. It's because they effectively um obtain, and retain our attention because of their missional clarity, their confidence, their surety about the message. I'm not saying the confidence. Some of them may be insecure as all get out in within themselves as far as like their personal skill set. But as long as they're clear about their mission, any insecurity about their you know, personal stuff, it can fly out the window because when you're clear on your mission, it doesn't really matter what you got going on personally in a certain aspect because I got something to accomplish. And so I'm gonna put all that extra the way I feel about how I sound over here because no matter how I feel about what I sound, I'm the person who is about to stand on this stage. And so the message that I need to get across, I need to do this with clarity. The mission that I'm on, I need to complete it. I need to do it. And so this is the place also where insecurities can die. Some of you are very insecure about your gifting. Some of you are very insecure about your singing voice. You're very insecure about standing in front of people and doing the whole nine. And it actually holds you back from being the type of performer that you're supposed to be. It holds you back from really maximizing your moments as a musical artist like you're supposed to because you're too thoughtful of yourself and how you look and how you sound and how well, this is gonna look they just gonna not like me and they'll never even get a chance to not like you fully if you don't present what you got. Here's what you got to do. You ready? Give people the choice to reject you. If they do, wonderful. If they don't, praise God. But at the end of the day, if you never lay out the choice, you'll never know. You just be sitting there dreaming, seeing yourself on stage, seeing yourself doing this, seeing yourself doing that, or if you in some cases you didn't have people tell you that God told them to tell you that you're gonna have your name and da. I had somebody um prophesy to me, but I see your name in lights, X Y Z. Like, but if I never step out and do the thing, a dream is just a dream. An idea is just an idea. No idea becomes inspiration until you get up and do the thing. Right? No idea becomes inspiration until you get up and do the thing. I was inspired to da, da, da. No, you weren't. You had an idea to do it. You weren't inspired if you didn't move. Ah, that's why my mentorship program is called Inspiration Unlimited. Because I think one of the fears is, I could be wrong, but I think one of the fears is I'm gonna run out of stuff to say. I'm gonna run out of stuff to sing. I'm gonna run out of stuff to write. I'm gonna run out of like fresh ideas and I'm gonna become irrelevant. I believe wholeheartedly that those that will situate themselves and really station themselves in who God designed them to be will find that inspiration is unlimited. I'm not saying that to sell the thing. I really, if you want to buy, you can. If you don't, you don't, and that's just what it is. I wholeheartedly believe that to find your inspiration center is an issue of alignment, right? With who you've been designed to be, what you've been designed to express and address. And so you're gonna run into what seems like, and it may just be a limitless supply of inspiration. You're gonna be popping songs out like at the rate that you need to in order to impact the people that you're called to. And that's all I'm here to tell you. That's really, I get on here almost every day to say the same thing in 50 different ways so you can get this. All right. And if you're really helped by it and want to go further into it, I literally do have a mentorship program. I have a mentorship. I work with people. We can do some one on ones. We can do. I do group sessions as well within the mentorship. The crux of it is group sessions. However, there are one-on-one opportunities. There's a free hour-long session per month, or it's of no extra charge within the mentorship, and that hour-long session, I'm just gonna be honest with you, is actually a steal because my 45-minute session is way more than the mentorship. But I I opened this up because I really want to be able to help as many people as I can. Um, and I write songs, so you get a discounted songwriting consultation. And if you need help with writing songs, like direct one-on-one help in that particular arena, um, I produce and do mix and master and all that stuff, and play and make tracks, all that stuff, background vocals, XYZ. So you even get if you want to like navigate me assisting you on a musical project, um my mentees get perks, and so you get some discounts in that regard. And there's also just additional training. Like I said, the group sessions can delve into any realm of musical artistry, deal with any realm of skill sets and stuff. So with songwriting, singing, musicianship, production skills. I even delve into like dealing with um certain stuff like that. So I really am excited about that. So if you're interested in that, then that is available. It is in my bio here on the channel. It's probably by the time you see this, it'll be in the description below, and so you can do that if you want to just book book a full blown call, then you can do that as well. You don't really want to commit to a mentorship program, but you want just a one-on-one opportunity, then you can do that as well. Like I said, it's a little up there in price because it is, and it just. But if you believe it's worth it, then it's worth it. So, and it's not even that up there. I'm saying it's a little up there, but it's really not for what some people charge, which is fine, and I honor that whole thing too, because when the prices go up, they're gonna go up. But I'm not really. My main goal has never been, and it's actually stopped me from moving forward with some of this stuff before. It's never fully been money. I always wanted to make sure that I was making the right type of impact. And so if I can do that, I'll be satisfied. And so I want to make sure that's why y'all get so much in the YouTube world. I want to make sure that what I have to give, you guys are able to get, and that you're able to get quality in that regard. So that is my piece. I'm hopping off. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate you so very much. Yeah, good job, baby. I'm gonna go get back to my children. But we'll convene back on these YouTube streets and at some point in the next 24 hours, I'm sure I might go live again today. I don't really have to only go live once a day, but I did want to get that out. So um, y'all keep going forward. Y'all keep pushing, and in your push, stay inspired, please. Stay inspired. Don't be grasping at straws and trying to stay in a rat race. Do what is innate to your divine design, and you will find a well of inspiration unlimited. All right, a well of inspiration that is unlimited. All right, peace out, guys.